All right. Good evening, everybody. Late Night Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon here from Los Angeles, California. Welcome. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from, and also make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. So far, we've got Patty Moore from Hawaii, Linda Reuter from Washington, Bethany Gibbs, Seattle, Jonna Jones, Ohio, Patricia Davis, Atlanta, Georgia. Good evening. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Find a vehicle like KGX. Take action, make a decision, stay focused, and do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can steer you in the wrong direction. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but they will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. Good evening, Rohan from Atlanta, Abdul Wilds. All right, let's get this kicked off. Got a couple of interesting articles that caught my attention for tonight. First, we got to look at the coin market cap. All right, let's get this. What's going on here? Right now, it's at $111.8 billion cap. It's kind of been flatlined the last 8 hours since I did the crypto talk this morning. Bitcoin dominance at 53.5%. Bitcoin is at negative 0.5% dip in the last 24 hours. Ripple, negative 0.79%. The Ethereum, though, is in the green. So is EOS, Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin SV is up 5%. Let's see, best performers today. Veritasium is up 12.7%. Basic Attention, 12.2%. Binance Coin, number 10 coin, 7.9% gain. Bitcoin SV, any other top coin, and Bitcoin Cash, top gainers. Worst performers, Theta, don't know about that coin, 9.6% negative. Decentraland, Nexo, Holo, any top coin. Yeah, Stellar's at a negative 3%. PoonDX, almost negative 3%. Still flatline, but I made a prediction that I believe that the coin market cap, or at least Bitcoin itself, is going to drop below 3,000. The rest of the coin market cap will do so as well. For that to happen, the entire coin market cap will go below 100 billion. and between the 80 to $99 billion range for the entire crypto market cap. There's going to be mass panic. The media is going to go crazy about it, saying that the bubble has popped, the game is over, the jig is up. The uneducated people are going to scream bloody murder. They're going to try to sell all their coins at a loss. And that will be the beginning of the birth of Bitcoin. That's my prediction. So last night I went ahead and moved all my coins into Tether. I should have done it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But I was thinking that Bitcoin would get back up to that $4,000 range. So I went ahead and made that move. I'll move it back on over into the crypto space when it's in the 2000 range. And there's an article talks about Bloody Wednesday. I saved myself 4% loss by making that move last night. Bloody Wednesday, Bitcoin price headline, crypto sell-off, but one coin emerges unscathed. What coin is that? The Bitcoin price took a sharp drop, and the rest of the crypto market went with it. The rest of the market, that is, except for Binance Coin, which resisted the bearish tilt and climbed into the 10th spot in the market cap ranking. Outside of the top 10, nearly everything was red. Bitcoin itself was barely flirty, with the global average just over 3,400, while Ethereum dropped a few dollars to 104, and Ripple finally dipped under the 30-cent mark. As noted above, the global average for Bitcoin is still clinging to $3,400, but plenty of exchanges, including Coinbase, have it in the 3,300 range. Really? What is Poloniex have it at? 3404, I think that's what it is. Yeah, 3407 is on Poloniex right now. Last price, 3409. 24-hour low, though, was at 3383, and the high, 3432. Bears deal Bitcoin another blow. As noted above, the global average for Bitcoin is still clinging to 3,400, but plenty of exchanges, including Coinbase, have it in the $3,300 range. Late trading last night saw a dip of over $65, from whence Bitcoin has not recovered. For reference, the loss on every BTC on Coinbase was enough to buy a whole Bitcoin SV. Bears fought all morning to drag it down, eventually reaching a low of around $3,345. By press time, it was selling for $3,360. Definitely not the big shakeout we were told to expect yesterday, but it'll take some significant buy pressure in the $5 billion volume market to raise it back above 3,400 and head toward the previously understood supports of 3,500. Ethereum follows Bitcoin into decline. The drop in Ethereum was mostly commensurate with the drop in Bitcoin. Only worse. $1 or $2 is a lot more to a token struggling to stay above $100 than it is to one resting comfortably above 3,000. That's why, I've been looking at this more recently, trading in Ethereum. How that guy made from 55, he went from 55 million to 200 and something million in 30 days trading on Ethereum. Yeah, a $2 loss or gain on Ethereum is much more valuable than a $2 gain or loss in Bitcoin. So I'm also, in my studying, going to look into trading off of Ethereum as far as volatility is concerned, more profit. So likewise, Ethereum did half the volume of Bitcoin today at over 2.5 billion. The state of the dApp industry isn't helping matters much. However, any way you slice it, it's hard to complain about being able to buy Ether this cheaply. Long-term, philosophically in time, traders understand that crypto assets have only begun their value cycle. About the same time that Bitcoin and Ethereum started losing late last night, Binance Coin, BNB, a token used primarily for paying fees on the world's largest crypto exchange, started gaining. BNB started gaining while everyone else started slipping. It found its way to the top 10 while Bitcoin SV got pushed out. With a 24-hour volume of over 120 million, the token reached $8 globally by price time, overtaking Bitcoin SV at the time of writing. BNB is the 10th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. It has a supply of nearly 142 million and a per token price of $8. Percentage-wise, Ripple suffered a bit more than Ethereum or Bitcoin, as you can see in the chart below, which includes BTC and ETH. The losses began around the same time. The primary factor in this is that XRP is often traded against BTC or ETH. In any case, the overall price for Ripple is now officially below 30 cents. Barring some news or other great sentiment from Ripple Labs, we can expect this downtrend to continue for Ripple as long as Bitcoin and Ether suffer losses. What we'll want to check on is whether or not the bank-friendly token gains along with them or continues losing on the next bounce. Interesting news. They call this a Bloody Wednesday, huh? Bloody Wednesday. We've seen far worse. Let's see here. Do I want to get to that one just yet? No, yeah. 4 reasons to believe the deep state or NSA created Bitcoin. So those of you who always want to know, who created Bitcoin? When I was in Seattle, someone pulled me aside and said, Brandon, who do you think is a person, man, woman, or child, or whatever behind Bitcoin? And my personal opinion is that I think it's a group or a company that's behind this, personally. I don't think it's just one individual who was clairvoyant and put this thing together. I think there's an agency behind this, personally. Now, I don't know about, Deep State or the NSA or time travelers or Craig Wright or whoever, but I'm just saying. And I hope we never find out. You know that old saying, you never want to meet your heroes because you realize that they're also human, and as such, they're flawed. As such, they have issues. They're not perfect. And then now your perception on what it is that you admire is now marred by that. If whoever created Bitcoin comes out, then it's not going to be about Bitcoin anymore. It's going to be about whoever created it. So I hope we never find out who is actually behind it. So 4 reasons to believe the deep state. Okay. Who is the creator of Bitcoin? The mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto, who has written the Bitcoin white paper, has never been identified since 2009, and there have been many theories of whom created Bitcoin. Some even think the NSA created it. 1, they did create part of it for sure. SHA 256 is the secure hashing algorithm, which is an essential part of Bitcoin's architecture. It is an NSA hash function algorithm first published in 2001. Okay, now, I got to play devil's advocate here. While that may be true, that doesn't mean the NSA is behind it. It means that their coding was used for it, which wasn't private. It was published in 2001, which means anybody could have taken that info. Hey, Shane, I got to say time travelers. I mean, you'd be surprised how much stuff I've read out there. By the way, hello, Shane, Moshe Frazier, Stan Williams, Lorna Vasquez, Jacqueline Briggs, Tony Pinkston, welcome. Because it's very technical, well, this is a really excellent lecture about SHA 256 and how it is used by the Bitcoin protocol, because it is very technical instead of using metaphors to describe how Bitcoin works. And someone who isn't a computer nerd can take most of it in and understand what he's saying. So that was how Bitcoin protocol works, Andres Antonopoulos. I tried to listen to this before and I fell asleep. I mean, it just bored me to death, and it doesn't intrigue me. I don't care. But SHA 256 is a set of instructions designed and written by the United States National Security Agency that tell a computer to follow a series of mathematical steps with any input in the form of a string of information of any size. One thing these steps do to an input every time is compress it. Who wrote this article? Let's see a lot of grammatical errors. It's throwing me off. Wes Messamore. Come on, Wes. Anyways, one way is that every time is compressed into an output that is always a 256-bit value called a hash. The other is encrypted. The mathematical operations in these steps and the values they use as operands cannot be done in reverse to find the input using the hash. So the hash can be used as a fingerprint for the original data because it is impossible to guess what the output will be for any value before running it through SHA 256. And the resulting hash appears completely random, but is a result of a deterministic process that will produce the same hash for the same input every time. So SHA 256 is a cryptographic one-way compression function. I have no idea what that means. If you have the hash, you can verify that someone else has the input value by running it through SHA 256 to see if you get the same hash. This specific hashing algorithm is an essential part of how Bitcoin works, as very eloquently explained by Antonopoulos in the lecture above. Okay, I will probably never get that. Like, I still don't understand how a plane can fly, or how a rocket can leave our atmosphere and come back, or how a cell phone works, or how you can pick up a telephone and speak to somebody on the other side of the world. You know, those kind of things. I know microwaves and vibrations and all that. Doesn't mean I understand it. But I don't need to understand it for it to work. Number 2, Satoshi Nakamoto means central intelligence. It does. I haven't heard this one before. Okay, so if you go to Wikipedia, Satoshi, let's see, is generally a masculine Japanese name for the cryptocurrency unit Satoshi, Bitcoin, and unit. Let's see, philosophy clear, enlightenment, apprehension, quick, sharp, knowledge, wisdom, intelligent, clever, bright. Teach, instruct, proclaim, instruct. Oh, okay, you're at a stretch there. Satoshi Nakamoto means central intelligence. A little bit of a stretch, but let's see. Nakamoto family history. Japanese is for central in origin. Okay, so you take Nakamoto for central and Satoshi for intelligent. Okay. Central intelligent. I guess that's what they're trying to say. Now, this could be a giant coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences like this, but it's unlikely that it is one. What's indisputable is that whoever created Bitcoin used central intelligence in Japanese as their moniker. Of course, that's not proof it's the CIA that created Bitcoin. It could have been the NSA that named Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator CIA in Japanese as a joke or to throw people off the trail. Or it's possible that non-deep state programmers did this as a joke or a red herring. Number 3, how a cryptocurrency benefits the deep state. The deep state would want cryptocurrency to exist. As Bitcoin's critics like to say, it's something perfect for organizations that have clandestine operations like the CIA is known to have. It's a way for the deep state to have a financial infrastructure outside the watchful gaze and control of institutional finance on Wall Street or any other banks on the planet. The deep state would have loved to have cryptocurrency back during the Iran-Contra affair with Oliver North, the Marine lieutenant colonel who ran a secret operation, maybe for Ronald Reagan himself, to move money from the Middle East to Nicaragua to financially support Contra rebels. Number 4, DLJ cybercrimes prosecutor explains how BTC helps the FBI catch criminals. Crypto makes it easier for the deep state to hide what it's doing, but it also makes it easier for them to see what criminals are doing. That's correct. In this lecture about a cybercrime drama so fantastic it could be a fictional movie plot, a former DOJ cybercrimes prosecutor explains how useful the public record of accounts and transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain is for deep state police investigating crime. The thing about Bitcoin is it's not private. It's completely transparent. Every account and every amount and every transaction is all available on a giant public document that is maintained on something like 10,000 different nodes. On Bitcoin's blockchain, account info doesn't hide behind a password that only a trusted institutional administrator has, as with fiat banking. The deep state, always keen on surveillance, has already made hay of this, whether it created crypto or not. I got to go back to number 3. What are they talking about here? The Iran-Contra affair, Oliver North ran, Ronald Reagan, yeah. Oh, well, that's interesting, a thought. Who could Satoshi Nakamoto be? Is it the NSA? Could be. I would put it more towards British intelligence than American intelligence. I would say more of a British organization is behind this. But who knows? And I hope we never find out. All right, last up. I've been following this one very closely. The largest exchange in Canada. Something funny's going on over there. They've had financial problems all year long in 2018. All of a sudden, their CEO dies, and he's the only one who held the keys to $150 million worth of crypto. He's the only one. The first time I read that, I knew something was off. I can go back and I got to listen to that, what I said again back then. It was only last week. That something doesn't smell right with this story. And that the truth is going to start to come out as the days go by. So we are still following the story on. That's not going to allow me to put in this link. It is in our, Patricia posted this in our KGX community group. If you want to get this direct link, newsbtc.com. So let's read this and let's see if anything that I said can be corroborated. Patricia, I may not always be right. Most of the time I am. Elizabeth Greenwood was traveling the Philippines back in 2013 while her rental car crashed into another vehicle in Manila. According to many spectators, the American traveler had suffered grave injuries. The doctors at the local hospital declared her dead. The local Manila authority issued her death certificate. The story later served as a backbone to the book, Playing Dead, A Journey Through the World of Death Fraud. I didn't know that there was something called that, death fraud. Written by the same person who was pronounced dead. So the woman pronounced dead wrote a book about her being pronounced dead. Elizabeth Greenwood. In reality, the author was investigating the Philippines' fake death mafia. That's a thing, huh? Is that what happened to Tupac and Biggie? In an interview to the Telegraph, she admitted that the idea arrived in her when she was fancying how it would be to circumvent her massive student debt. Okay. So she's trying to get out of her student debt here. Greenwood's research found that people wanting to run away from debts or personal responsibilities have gone to the lengths of faking their deaths. There is a whole industry ready with their death kits in which people can hire doctors, administrators, and witnesses for as little as $100. Really? Philippines and India are among the most sought after countries to get a fake, real death certificate easily. So you know what? We're not talking about, when you was a teenager and you wanted a fake ID so you can get up in the club or buy some alcohol. For $100, you can get a fake death certificate. Huh. Watch, I'm going to see Rob Harris post about everybody on the Challenger still alive. They faked their deaths. Are the Challenger people still alive? Deep state, who knows? Got a death certificate from India. So when the head of a crypto exchange decided to take a philanthropic trip to one of these countries and later died under mysterious circumstances with the keys of millions of dollars worth of crypto. You know what? The more I'm hearing this dude ain't dead. I just thought about that. Why in the world was he in India for? Everything in crypto in India is banned. They're arresting people left and right over there if you're involved in crypto. But the head of the largest Canadian exchange just happens to go to India and happens to die and so happened to have all of the coins wallets in his own brain nobody else had access to. I mean, there's too many freaking CSI shows and, New York Undercover. Oh, what y'all know about that one? Too many of these shows on TV. You can spot this stuff. So he decided to take a philanthropic trip to one of these countries and died of mysterious Have they said exactly what he died from yet? I heard somebody say old age. Was he that old? How old was this guy? So he took with him millions of dollars worth of crypto. People are finding it difficult to digest the story. Quadriga CX, the exchange, is facing accusations of lying about their CEO, Gerald Cotton's death to orchestrate what people believe as an exit scam from day one. I said it. I said the first time I read the article, this is an exit scam. They're trying to pull a fast one. Fake death certificate mafia in India. Investigative journalists in India uncovered many cases where people attempted to dupe families, loan sharks, and insurance companies. Wait, Jacqueline. He was 30 years old. 30 years old? This makes it even more fishy to me. Kind of, I'm not going to call him out. I'm going to pray for that guy. The old Brandon was about to come out here calling people out. And I'm not that far off from doing so. People are testing my limits lately. You can only poke me so much. But this just reminds me of something somebody else did in the U.S. You guys know who it is, but I'm not going to call him out. Anyways, he's 30 years old. So he's a kid, a young adult with access to hundreds of millions of dollars. And he runs into some kind of financial trouble. And he's looking for a way out. I think we can tell where this story is headed up. So investigative journalists in India uncovered many cases where people attempted to dupe families, loan sharks, and insurance companies. Times of India, one of the leading newspapers in the country, revealed a gang in Mumbai was issuing all kinds of fake certificates, be it death, marriage, birth, anything. In another incident that mocked the Indian authorities, some miscreants issued death certificates of politicians using a government website. Hey, did they do that for Ruth Bader Ginsburg or something? I saw something on Fox News that declared her dead. Has that been confirmed yet? Where's RBG? Shut up, Brandon. Don't go there. Just saying, I was looking for her at the State of the Union last night. I didn't see her. And my dad said that there was a sighting of her a couple of days ago, that her daughter was doing something. And I'm like, Dad, are you sure about that? I thought that was 2018. He said, no, that was just a couple of days ago. Anyways, and let me make this disclaimer. No CIA or whoever be listening to me, because I know I'm being monitored. No, I am not claiming that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. All right? I'm joking. I'm playing around. Indian authorities have taken an active stand to mitigate such issues. In some cases, municipals have outsourced the job of issuing death certificates online to local IT giants. However, the service haven't reached to a majority of Indian municipals. Jaipur, the city in which Cotton died, is a small town compared to metropolitans like New Delhi and Mumbai. How did he die? He supposedly died December 9th. Why are we just finding this out now? I don't know, Shane. Her family says she's okay. All right, show us pictures. I want to see RBG on a YouTube video. Anyways. So he supposedly died in a small town, and one can receive a death certificate only by submitting an application form, Challan receipt, and Aadhaar card. In the case of Cotton, his family must have submitted his passport documents instead of an Aadhaar card. Atop that, Indian medical industry is also facing allegations of corruption on various accounts. A forensic lab doctor in Goa, for instance, was running a private clinic that released fake birth and death certificate documents. Fake birth don't let Donald Trump know this. He's going to bring that birther thing back up with Obama. Obama's Hawaii birth certificate came from India. I'm joking. I'm playing around, y'all. I'm just having some fun. The crypto community believes the whole episode is turning into a fiasco. There is no news coverage about Cotton's death in India, despite the involvement of $190 million. Redditor Toyaki wrote, Cotton is having financial troubles at his company, so he travels to India to work on an orphanage. Okay. While suffering from Crohn's, he decided to go to India, gets married, and sets up a will within a month of his death. Okay. Manages to set up a plan, 100K, for his 2 dogs so that they're taken care of. Okay. Doesn't think to make sure the nearly 200 million his exchange watches is also taken care of. Ooh. Think about that. That's why I called BS the first time I read it. You cannot be the largest exchange in a country and you don't have backup, especially when it's already on record that you do have backup. Their entire system was multi-sig by a third-party company. Why that company isn't speaking out right now is telling me one thing, that they are probably silenced not to speak up because they're being investigated. And I forgot the name of the company. I covered it a couple of days ago, that they programmed the multi-sig for Quadriga CX's wallets so that no one person has full control. You need at least 3 or 5, depending on how they set it up. Okay, let's continue. Jesse Powell, CEO of Kraken, said, "We have thousands of wallet addresses known to belong to Quadriga Coin X and are investigating the bizarre and frankly unbelievable story of the founder's death and lost keys." Quadriga CX, meanwhile, has reached court for bankruptcy protection. The Canadian exchange confirmed that it is working on resolving the liquidity issues against the mounting crypto withdrawal requests. For the past weeks, we have worked extensively to address our liquidity issues, which include attempting to locate and secure our very significant cryptocurrency reserves held in cold wallets, read Quadriga CX's homepage. Yeah, that does not pass the smell test with me. I'm calling BS on that. Anyways, that is it for Late Night Crypto Talk tonight. Tomorrow, we have 2 things taking place besides my normally scheduled crypto talks. We will have a call with Green, Dave Smith from Green, at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Texas time, 10 a.m. Is that 10 a.m.? Oh, that's right after my crypto talk. I got an appointment at that time. How am I going to do this? Let me think about this. All right, I'll figure it out. Anyways, 10 a.m. Pacific time, because I thought it was going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, so I got to move some stuff around. It's going to be on kgxglobal.info. I did, for those of you that still may be out of the loop, if you go to our KGX community page and click on video, I've already done 2 recordings on where I stand and how I feel about concerning Green and what currently is taking place. So if you have failed to hear that, go back to your KGX community group and pull that up and listen to it. There's still questions that I have that I do not have the answers to. I know as much as everybody else knows. Personally, I am happy with what I have. What I am seeing on average is about 8,000 coins a day being mined per machine. Now, in the beginning, when every single one of us was begging for Green to give us numbers, and they said, we don't want to give numbers because we cannot guarantee anything. And if we're off with those numbers, you guys will be screaming bloody murder. People still didn't care. We wanted to know numbers. Give us an idea. You want me to buy these machines? I want to know how many coins am I going to get and how much their value and they're going to be worth. The only things we didn't know was that 50 billion coins need to be mined total, 25 billion in the first year, 12.5 billion in the first 6 months. So if you know those numbers, the only other thing you need to know is how many machines are being mined or are online to mine. If we know that number, we can come up with a figure of how many coins based on what we were told as far as how many machines were online. We were looking at between 20 to 40,000 coins a day per machine. Well, getting the news that we have 8,000 coins a day as of today, and I looking at the back office, it looks like there was about 10,000 coins a day last July, then there were far more machines online than we previously projected. Now, since nothing was guaranteed, I'm not screaming bloody murder. Because here's another thing that I always do. Whenever I'm told something, I already know nothing's going to go 100% according to plan. We just needed to have something that we can like kind of bounce ideas off of and look at and estimate. I always look at worst case scenario and if I can live with it. And I am on record of saying this multiple times. So I always said, what if they're wrong by 90%? What are we looking at? And am I good with it? And for me, the answer was yes. Yes, I'm good at it. $3,750 per machine, 8,000 coins a day at a 2-cent valuation. That's $4,800 a month. I made my money back and I'm in profit. And if you understand mining, most average mining, it takes 4 to 6 months just to make your initial investment back before you're in profit. We're in profit in less than a freaking month. Am I happy and satisfied? You're damn right I am. Would I have been more happy if I was getting 20,000 coins a day? Hell yeah, I would have. That's not what's happening. That doesn't mean I still don't have questions. So some of the questions that I still want to be answered, and these have already been submitted to Green, and we'll see if he answers it tomorrow, because he's not doing a live question and answer series. So a couple of them is we still have a couple of people out there that's missing rigs from their back office. I have seen from their customer service side that they have it on their end. Those machines are mining. They just have not been transferred into the Green back office of those missing rigs. So I want to know when that is going to take place. I also want to know how many rigs were mining from day one for us to go from 20 to 40,000 coins a day to 8 to 10,000. I want to know, when is the plans for Green having a press release and marketing so that we know when we are going on an exchange? Because they need to do advertising to market this. Think about this. Every time I read an article about a new company or a new project, that value of that coin jumps big time. And we get it before, you know, normally when I do my crypto talks, I'm getting that information before the masses read it. And so we kind of got to jump on it before it gets popular. I want to know how many rigs are actively mining right now, because we know that ultimately there's going to be 40,000 rigs. I want to know the difference in the process, why, since we didn't go through an ICO with Green, we went through mining, but we also used the ERC-20 token system to do so, the Ethereum network. How does that work? How is that working with proof of stake, proof of work? I want to know what's the ETA on when we're going to be able to market the Green box itself, the box that we're able to plug into residential or plug into commercial. I want to know about the debit card, how that's going to work with our Green wallet that we can convert into money, and what value are you putting on that if we're going to have access to a debit card before the coin actually goes onto the exchange. I've got questions. I don't have answers to these questions. However, it doesn't stop me from enjoying the coins hitting my wallet right now. Now, I knew And everything that I say has been recorded and it is in public knowledge. And you can go back and listen to my recordings. And I remember from day one, I said, when I was being hounded about this and I was reluctant to say anything, and people, no, you tell us something. I knew no matter what happened, there will be somebody pissed off. I knew no matter what happened, there will be somebody overjoyed. It's the nature of the game. It is what it is. I know how to keep my emotions in check when things don't go as according to plan, especially when things are not in your control. I am an adult. I do my own research. I make my own decisions, no matter what anybody says. And I live with it. But that's not everybody. You will have people that will blame, point fingers at somebody. Whatever. Those type of people, you have no business being in this game anyway. Get out. Don't be involved. I could tell somebody, yeah, we project that you might make $30,000. You make $28,000 and you're going to scream because you lost $2,000. Brandon said I was going to make $30,000. No, Brandon said that that's what we think you can make. But none of that matters. But I got questions as far as green, and we're going to hear what those answers will be tomorrow, what they tell us. All in all, I am very pleased. And that millionaires are going to be created, because here's a simple thing. And someone told this to me. Said, Brandon, while people might flip out that they might have thought they were getting 20,000 coins a day and they got 8,000 coins a day at 2-cent valuation, you just flip that to, what if it goes to 4 cents or 5 cents? Well, it just got the same amount of money right back. 5-cent valuation is $12,000 a month per machine. You mean to tell me if you knew that you were only going to get 8,000 coins a day and not 20,000, you wouldn't have bought the machines? Get out of here with that. Yes, you would have. I keep it real. I'm not a cheerleader. So we'll find out that call. My wife jumping up and down. She used to be a cheerleader. We'll have that call tomorrow. And also I will be doing a, are you saying millionaires going to be created through green? Yes. We got people that have 30 freaking machines, 50 machines. You get yourself a couple million coins on your pocket and you sit on it and you wait for the value of it to go up. Let it go up to 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. Millionaires. Anyways, I'll also be doing a KGX presentation tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, again on kgxglobal.info. So it's going to be a busy day for me tomorrow. We got one crypto talk, a live with Green, and then a presentation tomorrow night. So that is it for today. I hope you guys learned something new, because as always, that is the point. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.